The COP meetings are designed around the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The objective of this convention is to stabilize greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere at a safe level. To understand how the atmosphere warms up relative to how much we emit, we need to look at how many CO2 molecules there are per million molecules of dry air. Now, the bad news is that we are currently just over 400 parts per million, up 1/3 since the Industrial Revolution. An internationally agreed upon goal, 2 degrees of atmospheric temperatures, has now been set as the level of global warming which we must by all means not exceed. COP21 was the first COP meeting in over 20 years that aimed to achieve a legally binding, universal agreement on climate change. The goal of this agreement was to keep global warming below 2 degrees Celsius. In order to limit atmospheric temperatures to below this threshold, all UN member states were asked to propose emission reductions in the run-up to COP21. These emission reductions are known as INDCs, Intended Nationally Determined Contributions. Let us not forget that the goal of COP21 was to limit atmospheric temperatures to below 2 degrees. So were the emission reductions proposed necessary to do this? In short, no, they weren't. In fact, in order to limit atmospheric temperatures to below 2 degrees, we would have to increase the emission reductions proposed by 1,100%. To put it simply, we're screwed. We are well on our way to hitting 2 degrees of global warming. The truth is that before COP21, we were going to lock the necessary amount of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere to reach the point of no return by 2035. The reductions proposed at COP21 will only delay that by 2 years. That's outrageous. Contrary to what you might hear on the news, nothing is being done. Hitting 2 degrees would have disastrous effects on immigration, food supply, jobs, economic security, sea level rise, the list goes on. Nothing serious is being done to help stop climate change. We are continuing to increase our global emissions every year. On current trends, we will have locked 3 to 4 degrees Celsius into our atmosphere by the end of the century. Scientists predict that this level of temperature rise would cause up to 1 billion climate refugees to migrate to Europe and North America. That's a lot of climate refugees. The future of human life depends on how much greenhouse gas we emit in the next few decades. We need to make sure that our politicians, that we don't condemn future generations to a life modeled by famine, mass migration, shortage of clean water, and rising temperatures. We need to act now.